First of all, I'd like to thank the members of the news media for coming out here today. This is Deke Slayton Airfest is an all-volunteer organization, and we do all this work just to put on a good community show. And it's all volunteers, and we need the help of the La Crosse area news media to make this air show happen. So I'm going to say a few things, and then I'm going to introduce Bruce to talk about some other performers, and then at the end of the press conference, we'll answer any questions you might have, and then right about that time, hopefully, Blue Angel Jet number 7 will be on time and landing right here in La Crosse. So, it was right here in December of 2019 that we announced that Deke Slayton Airfest 2021 was going to have the United States Navy Blue Angels right here in La Crosse. And then a global pandemic happened. I'm sure you heard about it, it was in all the papers. But so we weren't sure going through the entire year of 2020 whether we'd have an air show or not, because most everything last year was canceled. And even moving into January of 21, things didn't look so good for us. But things are getting better with the vaccines out there. And now we've been working very closely with the La Crosse Health Department, the Crosse County Health Department, to put on an air show. And when working with them for a large gathering like this, you have to plan for what the conditions are right now, not what we hope they'll be in June, July, or August, what the conditions are now. And the conditions now are things like businesses at 25 to 50% capacity, wear masks, social distancing. Very difficult to put on a large gathering with that sort of restrictions. But we at Deke Slayton Airfest have an advantage, and what we're going to do for 2021 is have a drive-in air show. Really simple. So what we're going to do is socially distance all the automobiles. So if you look in your media packet, there'll be a map. It's sort of a grid map of the La Crosse Airport grounds, and all those squares is 1 square acre. And we fit about 35 cars in 1 square acre. So we're going to socially distance all the vehicles. Also in your packet, you'll find this beautiful piece of work. You can see I'm not a graphic artist when you look at it closely, but just to emphasize the point, 35 cars per square acre. I think we all learned in kindergarten that 1 square acre is 43,560 square feet. You can fit approximately 35 ranch-style houses in that square acre. And we're putting 35 cars to give you an idea how we're spreading everything out and giving plenty of room for everybody. So, plenty of room, and then we'll have a one admission price to get the whole family in. And then we're asking you to bring your lawn chairs. You'll park, you'll have plenty of room all around you to enjoy the air show. We will not allow grills, no grilling, no tailgating, because a out-of-control fire on the airport grounds would be a very bad thing. No campers and motorhomes will be allowed either, but it's just going to be cars. But one of the nice things, as of right now, the conditions, once you're in your family group and your area and the grounds there, you won't have to wear your mask when you're with your family. So that's nice. You can put your mask in your pocket. But if you do get up and walk around over to the latrines, some people call them porta potties, but if you go to the latrines, you'll have to put your mask on because you'll be around other people. And even the issue of porta potties, we had to work with the county health department, because we've all been to these mass events where the porta potties are all grouped together, 20, 30 porta potties in one spot. We are going to spread them out, which makes sense because we're spreading the crowd out. So we'll have 2 or 3 porta potties all over the place. That's one of the things we've worked with the health department. So the admission is going to be $55 per carload. It's not going to be a per person admission. We've always had adults and children prices, but now it's just going to be 1 carload to make it a lot easier at the gate. Just let 1 carload in at $55 a carload. Tickets can be purchased online at airfest.com starting on April 5th. So you can get your tickets April 5th at airfest.com. And remember, this is an air show. So no matter where you are on the grounds, I told you about that grid map. If you're all the way in the back, it's an air show. Everything will be up in the air. Normally, in the past years at Deke Slayton Airfest, we would hire some ground acts. jet truck would be very typical of what we might hire. We're not going to do that this year because we know the person all the way in the back might not have a good view of the runway if the jet truck is going down the runway. So everything's going to be up in the air, so anywhere on the grounds is going to be a good seat and a safe seat for your family to watch the air show. So we're going to have a lot of parking issues, just getting the cars spaced out. So if there's anybody out in the community who would like to volunteer to help us with the parking at Airfest, you can go to info@airfest.com and let us know you'd like to volunteer, because we could use more volunteers. We haven't had an air show in quite some time. And then any questions, if the general public has any questions about how things are going to work with the air show, they can also go to info@airfest.com. Because things are always changing. Things are changing for the better, but things are always changing. So we're going to keep information up to date on our Airfest website, and hopefully we'll have a great show. And we're going to have a lot of great excitement in the air other than the United States Navy Blue Angels. And to tell you about some of those other performers is Bruce Matthews.
And just to follow up a little bit on that too, on our website, we're going to have a frequently asked questions area. So as we get more and more information, we'll be putting that out there as well. So we've got a very good list of performers and a lot of variety this year. Of course, we're going to have the U.S. Navy Blue Angels, and this is their 75th anniversary. They're also bringing in their new F-18 Hornets and Super Hornets, and we're really excited about that. And we'll get to see one of those today, hopefully. Along with that, we're working with the Air Force to try to get a F-16 Viper coming in, and we're still working on that one. We don't have that confirmed yet, but we're hoping that'll be part of the show. We've got a Super Stearman, which is I believe that's a World War II biplane, which is a beautiful red, barn red airplane, and Susan Dacey will be flying that. She does a great job flying there. We have an Extra 300, which is a low wing, very quick, very fast airplane. We have the Vanguard Squadron, which flew here, I'm trying to remember which year, but it was a couple of shows ago, I think, and they are a formation team of Vans airplanes, and they do a really nice job as well. We have a Pitts coming in, Pitts S1S, and that is another small biplane that will be very fun to watch. And Grant Nielsen's going to be coming in with a Cap 232, which is going to be very similar to the Extra 300. But both of those guys will put on a really good show. Kyle Fowler's coming in, and he's actually from Canada, and he's flying a Long Easy, and that's something we don't see those very often in this area. That is a canard airplane, and seeing one of those doing aerobatics should be really interesting. So he's coming in from Canada. So all of these performers, of course, with COVID and all the things that are happening, are still subject to change, and there's always that possibility. But right now, that's our list of performers, and we got lots of variety there. So on behalf of the Board of Directors and of Deke Slayton, we'd sure like to thank you and all the media for coming out, and we'd also like to thank the Cooley region and all the surrounding community for all their support as well. Any questions?
Any questions from the news media? Anyone?
Is there more than 1 acre for parking?
What was that?
Is there more than 1 acre? Like you have 1 acre? How
We've
many
got,
acres, I guess?
We've got over 100 acres available to us.
Okay.
We don't plan on using all 100 acres because it's still the same spot we've always had Airfest over on that side of the airport. We have 100 acres available to us. That's 100 squares of 35 cars each. We don't plan on using them all. We figure 60, 65 of those acres will be used.
And I see you already put 6 people, so I can't load my truck up with like 20 people in the bathroom.
Well, there will be police out on the road kind of watching what's going on. So.
I think they'll notice, like in the old days when college students or high school students, in the old days of the drive-in theater, $5 car night, and they try to stick 17 kids in a Volkswagen. Yeah, we're not gonna.
Might be a little tight in the trunk.
Yeah. Someone will do that. But. Any other questions?
All right, well, thank you.
Well, hopefully Blue Angel Jet number 7 will be on time and be